I am Jeffrey Rogue Kohut. This is my Potter's Journal for August now, 2024. I left you last week with, making little, wedding cups in the shape of a pitcher as table wedding gifts, and the prototypes on size, type of glaze, shape of the pot. And at first thought it may be an unusual, but discovered this Slovenian wedding cup in the shape of a pitcher. In this case it's wood, but for me, happy that this is ceramic. So the prototypes were looked at, and what did they decide? They decided we'll go with a wedding cup like this, the little shots I made. So again, prototypes. However, time is running out. We are getting short in time. They need to be done. And then my first thought was, oh no, starving artist, poor dirt farmer. I had already imagined paying bills and spending the money. But, not to be a problem, instead of 200, 400. Okay, so this is going to be a project I will walk you through in the next few weeks. Not just the throwing like you see in most pottery videos. Some potters show the kiln openings too. But I will show you every part of the process, whatever we can fit in a video. Okay, because there's a lot of details in it. From the shape, that it should look and feel good in the hand. That you should feel celebratory, idea of the wedding cup behind it when we lift a glass to Monique and Nikhil. So we do have also a little MN monogram on there. So that's going to be a job. I've never done that for 200, 300, 400 pots before. Okay, this week, next, and the next few after that, we'll start today. Let's see what's going on in the studio today. 50-pound bag, a box of clay, 225 pounds. I get my clay from Standard Ceramics because I live so close to them. This is their 211 hazelnut brown, cone 4 to 6. I am very lucky because I don't have to pay for shipping. They're close by. I live right next door. Fortunately, throwing off the hump. This is one time when I don't have to weigh anything out. So I've been cutting this in 4 pieces. It's a 25-pound block. Okay, wedging on a wooden bat. If it's too dry, I constantly, just lightly, mist the wooden bench. And sometimes that'll put just a little bit of moisture into it. That's really all it takes. So, wow, this is going so much easier and so softer. So it really doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. And if it's too wet, that's when I will wedge the clay on a dry board, making sure that, look at that, misting it over there, and sometimes rolling it on that and mist it there to keep it wet. And we'll come back to this one. Unfortunately, this might not be the case if you're new to clay. You might have a lot of disasters, a lot of clay to be recycled and reclaimed. Fortunately, I don't, and most of the clay I use is right out of the bag. It is pugged and de-aired, so really I just have to do a basic light wedging to line up old clay particles. Throwing off the hump, who knows? Is there a right and a wrong way? Well, this is how I do it. And first, just getting it centered. Okay, it looks like it could have been a little more that way. yes, fortunately, right out of the bag, pugged and de-aired. I don't have to do a lot of wedging, except that often, okay, I've inherited from other potters bags full of dried hot clay, so I have processed plenty. And this first one I will just go through, and then I'll talk out what I'm doing. After all, I'll be making 400 of these. Now, you do lose some to S-cracks on the bottom. I don't know that there's any way out of that. I went to YouTube to look for the answer and didn't really come up with anything. Okay, nobody's saying that you need to center the clay in a certain way, that you need to do this or that or something else. I did come up with one video from a channel called Potter's Journal. Well, I happen to know for a fact that he had a batch come out where he hardly lost any, but then often loses, okay, 6 to 20%. So at that rate, for every 100 I turn, I'm going to have to turn an extra 20. So since the order is for 320, I will be making 100 pots, or yeah, 400 pots. However, I did notice in one batch I did lose those 20, and in another batch I only lost, yeah, the 6. So there's things that you can do right and things that you can do wrong. And this is the first run of the day, so I am just getting everything out in an order. Okay, I don't want you to have to wait while I get things out, but I managed to get the slip real fast. And that is one. Okay, so talking you through this one, if you bring the clay up like this, sometimes there develops a hollow space in the middle. But I'm making sure to press down at the same time. I don't want that. I think that could be a place for S-cracks to develop in the bottom. Looks like I'm opening this up with my thumb. I'm then going back and forth across the bottom as I take it deeper, pushing down so that hopefully, okay, we're compacting the clay down there to prevent any S-cracks, and then pushing straight down with 2 fingers to form the bottom. Same thing again. Now back to my clay body. Okay, and then, yeah, just working on bringing up the side. And I've got 2 fingers pressing together right there, but this outer hand is stabilizing things, and the thumb is on the top, keeping the top rim stable. Also, I've noticed that sometimes when I have used reclaimed clay, okay, I've had the problems. So the this hazelnut clay body has also helped, okay, keep down the percentage of S-cracks on the bottom. Okay, occasionally, yeah, there was just too much down there, and I trimmed a little bit off with my thumb, and then, okay, we just keep doing this. I don't count. Some people count some kind of rule on how many pulls you're supposed to do. That I only make around 1,000 pots a year, so I don't know what I'm doing or how to do it right. Nobody ever taught me. And that was something, okay, missing from the university training. How to be a production potter. I wanted to be Peter Volkus when I grew up, and that was just fine with them. So then when I found myself out of school and working in a production shop, piecemeal actually, okay, the owner there didn't do any training either. And if I was going to talk you through the process, I completely forgot. We'll get back to that. Okay, so let's just repeat, repeat, repeat. And put the tools back in the same place and the same motion again and again and again. Things that I've found important. Okay, avoiding opening up a space in the top. If you do, your thumb goes right down into it nice. You should still feel pressure when you push it down, or at least I think so. And then across the bottom to open it up. Okay, straight down. This is all hopefully the S-crack prevention thing. Okay, bring it up once and then twice, starting to get the top out with a little flare, and trying to figure out where the bottom is. So, I'm coming in a little bit for that. Okay, getting the last of the clay out from the bottom, and it looks like we did do that in about 3 pulls, but I'm finding that an extra one to kind of even it out and get a little more shape out of it. Okay, so we're narrower at the bottom, wider at the top, but there is a little bit of, okay, coming out on the bottom too. And then smoothing off the outside with the rib, a little more shape. Okay, making sure the top is clean. And here's where I cut the bottom. I've got, okay, a double angle on the wooden rim. It's made its way in there naturally. I cut the foot because we don't want to have to trim these. Occasionally, I do give the side a little trim. I don't often have to do that. And I found out giving the bottom a second cut gets it cleaner. So we do that twice. And then the bottom, okay, these are getting a little more design than I give my regular shots, or small cups, tumblers. So first, with the back of the needle, and it's important that this is the back of a needle. And the second line is where I need to support the inside, otherwise it pushes in. And then the needle, here we go. Watch me just turn that around. And what I'm doing here is something that I've not seen anybody else do. I'm putting a little cut in there, and that's a groove to help the wire go through, grab, and go straight. Okay, and at this point is where I put on the slip, the black slip, and to make sure it's thick enough, okay, I do it around two sides of the brush, and then to put the little wavy in, okay, the rib. Now, to get it in right, if I do it back here and go like that, it's a zigzag, but I want a wave, so I need to hold the rib like that. And to get it right, I need to come in, put my hand up here, and lean over in order to put my arm and my body into a position where I can do the wave. And then when you start doing it, you go at a certain pace and you watch behind the rib here until you see it. And then as soon as you see it, you lift away and you've made it the whole way round. Okay, otherwise you may go over it double, and that I see as a very beginner move. You want to stop the wave at the starting point. Okay, the overlap, okay, very beginner move, very, actually I know an elementary school teacher locally who does that. But then I don't know that, okay, how developed his style is and if he really thinks consciously about it. Okay, and then the wire, the cutoff is important too. That you both need to catch, put it on that groove, and as it spins, okay, let the wheel pull it round both ways and let it pull through, but once you get halfway through, you need to go quickly out. Otherwise, it tends to cut up into the pot and make a little V, and you need to come and take this off as fast as you can. Otherwise, it occasionally re-sticks to where you just cut it off from. All the precautions I made for the S-cracks today, important. The one time I also had trouble, it was a reclaimed clay that had a lot of raku clay in it, very heavy grog. So my hazelnut clay body's doing good. I will continue the compacting here and here next week in cleaning and putting on the medallion in the greenware stage, so stop back for that. I'm going to be very anxious to get these to the market. If I was good at adding little, okay, miniature whisks, they'd be a great seller. We'll see how they do, just like this. So we'll continue this project. Okay, stop back and see what's going on in the studio next week.